5 pickups. Check your week 1 waiver wires. Make sure none of these guys are lingering out there. Beginning with Chris Rodriguez here, folks. He is absolutely somebody you need to check out. He is on the website as well at RotoStreetJournal.com. Wrote an article about him. Let's dive into the opportunity that's staring right ahead of him. We know at this point that Brian Robinson is gone. That opens up 58.7% of the Commanders' backfield opportunities, 187 carries and 8 rushing touchdowns. A pretty healthy ground pie now being opened up. And which mouths are going to fill it? Well, of course, everybody and their great aunt Gertrude love Ja'Cory Krosky, Bill over there. And I do too. I would pick Bill before Rodriguez. I was picking him in like the 120s or so. He got chased up into the 100s. That was a little too rich for me because I do think Chris Rodriguez is really going to be impressive. This is going to be the 5th highest scoring offense according to Vegas. They were the 6th highest scoring offense last year at 28.8 points per game. And with Jaydon Daniels, sophomore season, another year under his belt, I could see them finishing in the top 3 scores this year. And ultimately, we've got Washington. They finished last year with the 10th ranked offensive line in 2024. Then they add Laramie Tunsil, the 4th ranked tackle. They draft a 1st-round tackle in Josh Connerly. This unit could definitely sniff the top 5 in line. So that's all the environment. I haven't even talked about Chris Rodriguez himself, but just painting the picture of what this pie is. That's why everyone loves Bill Krosky. But who's going to be the man getting the volume? It definitely could be Rodriguez. He's not flashy, but 220 pounds. This man is a bulldozer, 6 feet tall as well. At Kentucky, 20 games of 100-plus rushing yards. Set a record with that. Ranks 3rd all-time in Kentucky rushing yards as well. And you look at Lance Zierlein, thick frame, makes tacklers miss, makes people feel it when he hits. And then Dan Quinn taking all that and saying he would be perfect for the goal line role. Yes, I know Chris has that tackle breaking ability in small spaces. I would say he could be the front on the front taking place when asked if he would be their goal line hammer. And he looked great this preseason too. First game, rips off 6 carries, 62 yards, 10.3 yards attempts, 34 yards on another 5 carries. The next week, 96 yards on 11 attempts, looking very solid. And the athletic highlighting, he worked out all offseason on his physique, 235 pounds just a couple of years ago because of that high ankle sprain. He's now down to 222. He said he hit over 20 miles per hour on that 40-yard scamper this preseason. He said he's hit 20-plus miles per hour multiple times in camp, the most he's ever done. And he worked out the receiving coach this offseason as well. So I really, really like Chris Rodriguez, only 7% rostered, somebody to check out on your waiver wire. And you guys can feel free to ask me, should I drop player X for player Y as well, in addition to your sit starts tonight? Happy to answer any of those questions too. Isaac TeSlaa coming in at number 4, an athletic freak. Let's start with that. 214 pounds and a 4.43 40, flowing blonde hair, just streaking down the field. What more could you ask for? And he was the classic definition of forcing his way into the lineup with 10 catches, 154 yards, and 3 touchdowns across his 14 preseason targets. Played about a game and a half. A phenomenal stat line for the kid. They felt so comfortable with his performance, they traded away Tim Patrick. That is a ringing endorsement. He is a clubhouse leader, Tim Patrick, and they still felt okay moving him. So you have this athletic freak. You don't need me to spell out how explosive this offense is. I love Isaac TeSlaa as a potential waiver wire add, but even more than him at wide receiver, I love Dante Thornton, my number 3 add. And this was before Amari Cooper decided to retire out of the blue. I still love Thornton, and now the path is even clearer for this guy to be a potential target monster in the Raiders offense with Geno Smith. We're talking 6'5", 4.3 40. Insane. Only Calvin Johnson and DK Metcalf are guys at 6'4" or higher and 4.35 or faster 40s. This is the definition of an athletic freak here. And ultimately, 3.72 yards per route run, top 3 in this class, 25.4 yards per catch, leading the nation. Definitely a deep threat. And the best part of that is Geno Smith is an elite deep ball thrower. Quarterback 3, 9, and 5, and deep ball completion percentage the last 3 seasons. Perfect mesh of skill set and QB. But don't just pinpoint this guy into just a deep role. He has a better route tree than that. We saw that back shoulder touchdown this preseason. We've seen the digs, the outs. That you have to really give this guy cushion, and he's really dominating in the intermediate and even the short game as well. So huge fan of Dante Thornton. If there was going to be a Puka Nacua or close to it this year, Thornton is my favorite bet to do that. My final 2 picks are both running backs, though. Ollie Gordon, 30% rostered right now. Go, please check how this guy, if he's out there for you. 3 straight games leading the Dolphins in preseason rushing, ultimately racked up 29 touches for 174 yards, compared to 19 touches and 19 yards for Jalen Wright, who is also now laid up with a procedure on his leg. Was not looking good anyways. Ollie Gordon was probably going to steal it from him, but now multiple weeks out for Jalen Wright. So the clear number 2 running back in a Dolphins run scheme that last year, sure, took a brutal hit, did not look nearly as effective. And this line still very questionable on paper. So I'm not fully over the moon with Ollie Gordon, but it was just 2 years ago. Mostert led the NFL with 18 rushing touchdowns, 21 total touchdowns. Both Mostert, he's the running back 3, and HN running back 4 were top 5 in fantasy points per game. The McDaniels Shanahan-inspired zone scheme was looked at the next gold mine for running back value. And ultimately, Gordon has looked the part. This is a Doak Walker Award winner. In the most impressive rookie class to come out in maybe a decade, he was the best rookie rusher just 2 seasons ago. I know that interesting, weird, what happened his senior year, I'm not sure. But it was just 2 years ago that this guy hit 100 rushing yards in 8 of 9 games. He had 280 yards from scrimmage in 3 consecutive games. It was a ridiculous stretch run for this guy that year. Ultimately racked up Gordon 285 carries, 1,732 yards, and 21 touchdowns, in addition to 330 receiving yards and a touchdown. That crazy, crazy sophomore season. Don't know what happened this past year. The offense is a whole crater. The quarterback play was awful. He didn't look great himself, but so far with the Dolphins, he looks much closer to that 2 years ago prospect than what we've seen. So I love Ollie Gordon, hammering him in these late best ball drafts, adding him everywhere I can. He should not be on any waiver wires. This one especially goes out to tonight. You're my boy, Jaydon Blue. Somehow, some way, he's out there in 70% of leagues right now, and I think he's going to be the true league winner of 2025 fantasy. If you've watched any of my shows this offseason, you are already well aware of this. 4.38 speed at the combine, 4.25 speed at his pro day. Not a huge guy, 5'9", 198 pounds, but compared to, by their coach to a bigger Darren Sproles. I'll take that any day, while also adding Schottenheimer uncanny athleticism, acceleration, 3-down skill set, can do it all the ways. We saw in the preseason they hit this one jump cut, 13 yards, zips through the line, then ultimately barrels in for a touchdown the next play, giving him the big boy carries, and he converted. And now you're competing with Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders. When asked about Javonte Williams, the coach said, wisdom is what he brings to the table. I'll take the guy getting called an uncanny 3-down athlete with ridiculous receiving ability, making highlight play after highlight play in camp and in the preseason action. He saw the bigger Darren Sproles, Jaydon Blue. It's only a matter of time that you're going to get diet Jahmyr Gibbs and an explosive Cowboys team that with that defense as bad as it is, give me the guy that is a speed demon that is known as one of the best receiving prospects in the backfield to come out. Love Jaydon Blue. There's no reason for this guy to be out there in 70% of leagues. Check right now before the game hits tonight, because I could see him ripping a big one tonight and everybody scrambling in week 1. Go get yourself Jaydon Blue if he is still out there. All righty, Wolfpack. That wraps up my top 5 pickups ahead of week 1.